How I went legit posting videos daily in a year. My story. We got one from Tanks. I think
So
this is the
it's
first
now
time. Um, how I went legit posting videos daily in a year. My story. Now we got one from Tanks. I believe this is the first time we're actually reacting to Tanks on this channel. A big shout out to Tanks because he's one of the best in the scene. Like what I said when I was reacting to the Central C and Trap Laros video. So big up to him every single time. And it's very, very impressive to see what he's been able to build. You know, he's not necessarily the most liked within the UK space, but let's be real. Anyone that's opinionated, how many people are gonna really like you in the UK? Like, let's be real. Do you know what I'm saying? So big up to Tanks every single time. I'm very, very curious. I know this is not gonna be one of them videos that get crazy amount of views, but as someone that's looking to grow my own channel, it's something that I'm very, very interested to understand his story. And of course, we'll be giving our commentary as we go.
officially been 1 year that I posted every single day on YouTube, whether it be a live stream, multiple videos a day. I've checked in with you guys every single day. And I want to start off by thanking every single one of you guys for supporting me. It's been a journey with a lot of ups and downs, but we're still here, guys. We're still here. And I want to take you guys back in time as to why I even started doing this, why I even had the idea for this, you know, because when I was talking, saying content creation is the future, the industry's afraid, said this a year ago. Look at it now. Don't even need to say too much, but look at what's going on now. It's crazy how far this movement's grown, and it's crazy that I was able to, it was able to spark some life back into the UK scene, you know, have a lot of other people start posting content more regularly, see that it can be built into a business, you know, pump more life into the scene, encourage a lot of other rappers to start documenting things about their lives. That's all I'm about. That's all I've been for. That's all I've wanted. You know, that's what brings me joy.
And let's be real, especially within the UK, the only people that we saw doing content like this, besides maybe a Festify, for example, were people that in quote unquote weren't seen as cool. Do you know what I mean? So these are people that maybe the rappers will be clowning. These are people that maybe people within the industry will be like, oh, we don't listen to that person. They have no experience in the industry. They have no accolades, etc. But Tanks came through, and obviously he had a crazy amount of success with one of his singles, right? I think it even got like when I checked it out, they got like 30 mil views on his YouTube, which is crazy, isn't it? So he has been somewhat a successful artist. He's tasted some sort of success, has more views than a lot of artists out there that are doing it full time. And he's gone to create a YouTube channel. So us seeing that and hearing someone that has been in the industry, at least have had a step foot into the industry, and then start coming on this whole reaction bad and reporting news and etc. And to be honest, he used some of his skills from his past life or whatever he does, because when he's now going through documents, reading this, doing investigation, etc., bro, he's very, very good at what he does, you know what I mean? So big up to him every single time. And it just shows you what can happen when you channel your energy into the right space and into the right things, you know what I mean?
You know, just seeing that, it's like, yes, like, you know, people are trying new things because I'm somebody who likes to try new things. And I envisioned all of this while I was working a delivery driving job, bro. I envisioned everything. And I'll tell you guys how we even got to that point, because you guys know what I was rapping about in my past, doing in my past, etc., doing all them things there. As time went on, long story short, I had a case, ended up getting all my stuff back, ended up getting everything back, you know, clean slate for the first time. I had nothing over my head. You know, I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I'm not having to pay lawyers to do this, XYZ. I'm fine now, you know, because I provide for my whole family. I'm somebody who provides for my whole family, you know, I'm the breadwinner. So it's having that pressure, having to deal with that pressure on top of having to deal with all this other stuff that's still, you know, but not nearly as much as it used to be. It was a lot. It was a lot, fam. And I just went off the rails, kind of. I just said, fuck it. Like, now that it's over, I just went and traveled for like 6 months, you know? Just went abroad for 6 months. Just lived like a degenerate for 6 months, to be honest. And while I was out there, I thought I was going to become a father. I thought I was going to become a father. So the penny kind of dropped for me at that point. I was like, you know what? Like, I apart from this music thing, apart from music, because music is going to pay me for life, apart from that, I have nothing to leave my kids, you know, leave my future kids. I have nothing legit to leave my future kids, nothing I can be proud of, you know, and be like, yeah, my kids inheriting this, inheriting that, because my music, what I used to rap about before, it's not something I'm proud of. You know what I mean? It's not something I'm proud of, bro. Like, it's something that I just did, you know, because it made sense, and the life I was living before, I just did it because of where I grew up. I'm like, okay, this is kind of normalized, you know. Me.
And that's the biggest thing. As a music producer and sound engineer, like people usually ask me, especially when I go into when I was in like the corporate world and obviously business and things like that. I would have people that had nothing to do with the culture and are asking me, oh, like, what is it like working with these type of people, and why do I work with, you know, people that were coming from drill, people that talk about, you know, trapping, or people that talk about obviously doing F and stuff like that. And although it might not be a justified reason for a lot of people, it was a justified reason for me. I think because obviously I come from an environment, obviously growing up in South London, this is all you're exposed to. And especially growing up pre-internet, pre like mass adoption of the internet, it's either you went into music, you were an athlete, so you're a footballer or whatever, or you became basically a local scammer, or basically back then it was actually drug dealing. That was the big thing. Do you know what I mean? So those were the avenues that were seen as not only cool but also made enough money, because when you're now looking at obviously the legit paths, unless you're becoming a lawyer, a doctor, an accountant, or something like that, in reality, like, you weren't really seen as the people to really, you know what I mean? Obviously, having a 9 to 5 is cool right now, but back then, growing up, we used to look down at people that had 9 to 5 and things like that. And let's be real, that's the reason why we all aspire to look at, you know, the rappers and people with that type of lifestyle, because it's all that we knew. It's our first taste of success within the community, at least within our period of time, anyways. You know what I'm saying? So, and to be honest, you still got a lot of young black boys, for example, that want to become footballers or even in music, etc. So, a part of me before was on a vibe of like, why is it that we're not going into all these other subjects and all these other fields? But as someone that's now in the field, I just thought to myself, you know what, if this is what people want to do, then my only opportunity and my only value proposition rather, just to literally help people and obviously be one of the people to actually drive the scene forward, and give advice where I can and help out where I can, give as much value as I can as well. As I'm pretty sure you guys have seen on this channel before. And it's always the videos that get the least views that I actually try to drop the most gems on how to build a business, how to get that income online. By the way, if you want to work with me one to one and actually learn how to, you know, let's say for example you're famous and you want to actually start earning revenue online, etc., then literally just click the link down below. I'm gonna leave that. We can book a call, discuss how we can actually build a cash flow business for yourself. But in saying this, right, back to what he was saying, like, this is all that we knew. Do you get what I'm saying? So when they would ask me, okay, cool, why is it that you work with these type of people? Is because I wanted to be part of seeing them kind of transition out of where they were coming from. You know what I mean? Outside of that, is because I love music. Do you know what I mean? I really love music kind of vibe. And outside of that, a lot of these guys have interesting stories. I actually always say that if these guys were given opportunities outside of what we saw immediately within us, which is obviously like music and, you know, trapping or whatever it was, these guys would have probably went into 9 to 5 fields and probably done a mad thing. If we knew about tech, for example, someone like Tanks, right? If we lived on the opposite side of the world, or of the UK, right, and wasn't exposed to obviously gang culture or like F or whatever, and he had like, I don't know, people within his family that were into tech, for example, he probably would have thought to himself like, oh, like, cool, he can make 6 figures, why not? Because he's smart, you know what I mean? So there's so many different things that we can basically do, but it's all about understanding and actually starting from where we are right now. So part of the solution is, okay, cool. If people want to become entertainers, let's drive that and drive that and drive that, bring more wealth into the community. And then, of course, the people coming behind us, we can start opening up, you know, the doors and being like, okay, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this, you can do that. So, yeah, man, big up to Tanks.
Doing them things, engaging in them activities, got me respect. You know, made people.
That's another thing as well. The respect aspect, bro, is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, when you're in music, when you're doing those type of things like obviously he was doing, bro, you're gonna get respect from people around you. You know what I mean? And naturally, everyone wants to be respected. Just in general, as a man, them obviously want to be respected by other man, them, and also respected by ladies. Let's be real. And you already understand that, for example, the man, them, if you were to turn around to them and be like, oh, yeah, this is before, like, now that 9 to 5, like I said, it's cool. Oh, yeah, like, man, trying to go get my degree and become, I don't know, a tech guy. Bro, they'll think you're a nerd, fam. They'll probably bully you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the game. And naturally, if you were to go to ladies within the culture as well, let's be real, they'll be like, nah, and they'll go with the trapper. Do you know what I mean? So it puts a lot of pressure on obviously the man them to go down these type of avenues, and obviously vice versa for the ladies as well, kind of vibe. But yeah, man,
People were rating it. People were looking up to me. people my age were looking up to me. Yo, I'm trying to be like you. I'm trying to be like Tanks. Damn, Tanks, big rapper, all of that. But I felt empty because that was never me. You know, that was never what I wanted my life to be. You know, and then when I got the news that I might be a father, that I thought I was going to be a father, I was like, you know what? It's time to build something lig now. So when I came back to the UK, when I was talking to my friends and my peoples about wanting to go lig, they were like, it's a no-brainer, bro. Just do music. Like, just do the music thing, bro. Just do the music thing. And it's like, yeah, but I'm going to do music rapping about, it's just going to go hand in hand, bro. It's not going to really make sense, bro. You know, even though I've got, I mean, a lot of my subscribers on this channel subscribe to my channel for my music, for my vlogs, for that kind of lifestyle. You know what I mean? A lot of people subscribe for that. So it was a no-brainer to them, but I just said, fuck it, like, I want to get a job. And people around me thought I was going mad. People around me thought I was actually needed to be sectioned. Like, people really thought I needed to be sectioned, bro. People around me. But I said, fuck it still. I got a job.
And big up to him for doing that, yeah. I know it's like, we can't always be celebrating, you know, people from the from people from this type of lifestyle and stuff like that. These are the rhetorics I usually hear certain people say, right? Certain people say they're just like, oh, why are we celebrating people for just getting a job? Why are we celebrating man from the roads trying to hop on YouTube for it? That's like the whole thing that they're now starting to say around people like Tanks and Bouncer, etc. And they're probably gonna eventually say about me by the time the channel blows up, right? But sometimes you have to celebrate small victories in order to encourage people to just become better and actually choose something better within life. Do you know what I mean? Because if we don't celebrate it and if we don't encourage people to actually go down the ledge route, what else are we basically saying to them? And what message are we really sending out to them? Do you know what I mean? Makes no sense. So big up for to him for actually doing that, because again, when you're making that much money from whatever you're doing, it's like it can be very, very hard to go back to 9 to 5. Even me, that I've been in music all my life, etc. I've tried to do everything in my power not to work a 9 to 5. Not because I can't, but it's simply because it's just like, what? So I have to clock in at this time, be told what to do, etc. So I've had to figure out so many other ways to obviously make ends meet and actually drive income. Hence why, for example, I built a studio. Hence, for example, why I had to start learning about online businesses and generating income that way, etc. Do you know what I mean? So these are just different things, man. But my people there, myself, won't make the videos too long. Make sure to like just for the algorithm boost out to other people as we're building the community as well. Make sure to comment down below any thoughts, whether I've said anything that you agree with, disagree with, let me know. And outside of that, make sure to subscribe because we're looking to build this channel all the way to the moon. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video.